Hey everyone, it's Caito, and today we are back in Palworld, and I'm going to be continuing working on my base. I've already done a video creating the exterior of this base, so if you haven't seen that, I'll have it up in the cards and linked down in the description below, so go and check that out. I have made a few modifications. I've added a little roof section to the top. I've also started with these stone foundation pieces. I'm going to try to add some sort of sidewalk. I don't know how that's going to work out. And then I also finally got the flower bed recipe. So I did craft one of those. It does take a lot of resources, so I only have one for right now. But I love this flower bed so much. So you can see here, this is kind of my idea for the sidewalk. I don't know where it's going to lead or really what my plan is with it, but if you put the foundation low enough into the ground, I really like the way the grass kind of overgrows and it just looks really natural right here. I don't know if I'll keep it or not, but that's not what we're working on today. We're gonna go inside the base because I wanna start decorating the interior. Now I do wanna say the interior of my base, or my house, which I'll probably call it throughout the video, is kind of just a big open box. And if I'm being honest, with the way that I like to decorate, I'm probably just going to start with half of the base for today. And I think what I want to start out with is a bedroom and possibly a living area. The first thing I'm going to actually start with placing is a fireplace because you can turn this on. It's going to brighten up the room immediately. And that's just going to help me while I'm decorating for it to be a little bit brighter in here. You could put torches or some other kind of light source if you wanted to. But I planned on putting a fireplace in here anyway, so that's what I'm going to work with. Now, one tip I have for you, and I hope this is something that they change in the future, when you're placing down rugs, you have to do it first before you put down any other items. I feel like this makes it a little bit difficult to decorate for me personally because I really like to see how the furniture is going to be and then place down the rug later wherever I want it. And I'm also just really particular about how I want the rug to look under the furniture as far as the placement, so it really takes me forever to place down the rugs and then figure out where all the furniture is going to go. But just keep that in mind when you're decorating. You're going to have to put down the rugs first and then you can start placing things on top of it. So one thing I've decided to do is place this antique long cabinet, and I'm actually going to turn it around backwards so you can't see the drawers. Some of the stuff on top of it is going to be backwards, but I don't think anyone's going to be paying enough attention to mind. And I'm actually going to use this kind of as a headboard or something to go behind the actual headboard of the bed. I think having something else behind your bed just gives it a little bit more depth and interest. And I really just like all of the little details on top of this cabinet. I wish that I had a nicer bed to work with because this one just isn't really my favorite, but it's okay. I do think I'm going to have to add a bunch of different items kind of in front of that cabinet just to break up that big piece of wood, but I do really like the way all of the stuff on top of it looks, and I think adding just some different ivy, adding the different plants around, I think we can make it work. I'm also thinking I'm going to have like a little dressing area right next to the bed, so I want to have this mirror here. I think this mirror is stunning. I love it so much. Just like my build process for the actual base itself, I will say that I am all over the place. I place things down, I pick them up, and with Palworld specifically, it's a little bit longer of a process just because you have to build and destroy each item every time you want to place it. Sometimes I try to just place down the item without actually building it and see if I'm going to like it, but for me, I'm such a visual person that I have to place it down, build it, and then see if I'm going to like it. And even then, sometimes I'll just build a ton of different stuff and I still hate the way it looks. So it's all such a process of just putting things down, seeing what looks good together. And it's just not always going to work out perfectly the first time, or even the second time, or even the third time. And you're just going to have to keep trying stuff. I did end up adding the long ivy behind the bed along with that wall cabinet, which I think looks really great right there. And now I'm just kind of playing around with different plants, and I'm just not happy with how these are working out right now. I've decided to put this desk along the wall to fill this space right next to the bed, and I love this desk so much. A lot of the items too, I struggle with getting them close enough to the wall, because a lot of them actually can't go right next to the wall. Some of them you can kind of nudge your way as close as possible. Some of them just will not go next to the wall. But my tip is to just put a flower right next to it, specifically this tall vase with the big white flowers in it. It just does such a nice job of covering that gap right there. No one will ever notice that it's not against the wall. I've decided that I hate all of the plants that I had next to the bed, and I'm just going to try a bunch of different things here. I just feel like it's not covering enough of the big wooden board along the back, but I'm not willing to give up on the idea yet. So I'm gonna try some of the bigger flowers and just see if we can cover that a little bit more. I found this antique ottoman recipe and I'm gonna add that in front of the mirror. I think that's perfect for the little dressing room vibe that I was going for right here. And it also matches perfectly with the rug that we used. Okay, after trying a million different things, I think I'm finally happy with the way the plants look next to the bed. I ended up going with a barrel and then different combinations of this hanging plant and the little stools and stuff. There are definitely a lot of cute items in Palworld, but I will say there's not a ton of them, at least not at the level that I'm at. So I do end up having to use the same items over and over. I think that might bother some people, but for me, I really don't mind. And sometimes I think repetition of the items actually looks good, and you just need to kind of trust the process and keep placing things down. Especially if you're like me and you're someone who likes cluttered spaces, just put down as many plants as you can. I'm also going to be adding, of course, a lot of the ivy in here. I really want it to be kind of going all the way up this tall wall. I want it around the windows. Sometimes I put it down kind of at the baseboard. I'm really just using the 3 different options and putting them anywhere where I feel like there's a blank space. Okay, I feel like I've finished kind of the bedroom section. I'm sure I'll add a little bit more to it, but now I've got to figure out how I'm going to make this living room area work. And I really don't know. We don't have a coffee table. I guess I could use a bench. I also don't know how I'm going to make another rug work right here because it's so close to the other one. But if I use the small one, it's too small. I also think I don't want the rug to be completely like horizontal. I want it to be a little bit diagonal, just so it doesn't look so perfect. I ended up placing this green rug diagonally, and then I've put the red sofa and this other green chair, and I think that I hate it. So I'm gonna go back to the drawing board. I'm gonna keep trying some different stuff. I just don't like when you go behind the couch. It just doesn't feel very inviting. I do know that I want to put this tall mirror above the fireplace. This wall right here is just so tall, and I feel like I need something to kind of break it up a little bit. Okay, I love the mirror above the fireplace. I think I'm onto something. I have these 2 red chairs and then just a stool in between it. And it just opens it up a lot more. Like when you walk into here, you can see the fireplace right away. It's not blocked by the couch anymore. I think we're going in the right direction. I still think we need some more height in this room, so I'm gonna add this wooden bookshelf right here, and hopefully that will kind of balance things out. The bookshelf looks perfect. I am gonna go around and add just some different plants, a couple of small furniture pieces, I think. I really want to use this antique round table. I would love to put it right in the corner, but for some reason it won't let me put it right next to the wall. I don't really understand this piece of furniture. Like, is it supposed to be more of a tea table? Like I need to put chairs around it? I don't really understand it. Another thing I've noticed is I feel like the bedroom is just a little bit too open to the living space. So I am going to add this partition right here. And I think it'll also block off this dressing area. I mean, obviously it's not real, but I do think the partition looks really cute right there. I've been trying to figure out what to do with this corner over here. I really wanted that table, but it doesn't work. Then I tried to stack some of the wooden chests and I couldn't get them to stack. So then I tried crates and I don't like that either. I think I'm gonna keep one of the crates and then maybe just try to add some more plants in this corner. I've added plants on top of the fireplace next to this crate right here, and now I'm just gonna add a little bit more ivy as well. And I feel like we're getting so close to being done with this area. I think the last thing I want to do is I'm actually going to add one wall right here. Just because I think this space is a little bit too open. I like the idea of kind of an open concept, but I think it's just too much. So I'm going to add a wall. I think I'm going to do a seating area right here. Just a little bench, almost like a mudroom, like if you would enter a house and you've got like that little bench right there where you just throw all your stuff. And look, I know that this isn't real. It doesn't have to be functional. I just want to make my base or my house as cute as possible with the stuff that we have. I added the bench. I put a mirror over the top of it. I wish that I had some other wall items, so hopefully those will come as I level up. Then I just added some plants and this tiny little rug right in front of it. I think it turned out really cute. Finishing touches, I'm just going to go around. I'm going to add ivy anywhere where I feel like there's some empty space and it needs just a little bit of something. All right, we are done. Let's go inside. I'm going to show you half of my base because let's be honest too, I just don't have the resources to furnish an entire base yet. But this is what I came up with. We've got the bedroom here on the right with the desk and the little changing area with the mirror. I love the way the partition looks. And then we've got the seating area with the fireplace. I love the way this turned out. I think it's super cozy. It's exactly what I wanted. I hope that this is inspiring for some of y'all to decorate the inside of your bases. Let me know your favorite part down in the comments below. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.